The building and the surrounding courtyard served as a guest house for the Jews visiting Hebron who came to pray at the tomb of the Patriarchs. Throughout the years, Beit Romano was the center of Torah study in Hebron. It was the site of the Istanbul Synagogue, the Zechem Yeshiva, and the Chabad Torat Emet Yeshiva. Rabbi Chaim Chizkiah Medini, the first chief rabbi of Hebron, made the city his home and brought his unique library, which he used to complete his great work entitled Sdei Chemed. Right underneath us, Beit Romano continues to serve as the Torah center of Hebron, and hundreds of students have been studying in this building at Yeshivat Shaveh Hebron since 1980. The panoramic map will help you identify the Jewish life across the landscape in front of you. To the east, on our left side, is Cave of Machpela, the tomb of the Patriarchs, where the Patriarchs and the Matriarchs of our nation are buried. The underground cave is not visible, of course. What we see is the famous, impressive building that was built at Opin 2,000 years ago, apparently by King Herod. There is consecutive documented history that Jews visited Hebron to pray at the tomb of the Patriarchs from the time of the cave's purchase and the burial of Sarah the Matriarch all the way to modern times. The crowded neighborhood and the very old houses that you see between our outlook point and the tomb of the Patriarchs is the Kasbah, the old quarter of Hebron. At the heart of the Kasbah, the group of light-colored tall buildings is the Avraham Avinu neighborhood, built about 500 years ago. It was established by Jews who were expelled from Spain. This was the Jewish neighborhood Hebron until the Arab uprising of 1929, when it was looted and burned down. After the Six-Day War, the neighborhood was revived, and today it is home to about 30 families. At the center of the neighborhood is a synagogue named after the Patriarch Abraham. If you look south, you can see Abu Snela Hill, named after the large Arab family that resides there. On the right side of the hill, you can see the military outpost that is part of the security system protecting the Jewish community of Hebron. To the west, on our right side, there is a building with a red roof. This is Beit Hadassah. The building was constructed in 1893 by Rabbi Chaim Rachamim Yosef Rano, also known by the acronym Harif. It was originally called Chesed Avraham and served as a medical center where healthcare was provided free of charge, Jews and Arabs alike. During the 1929 Arab uprising, the medical staff and their families were murdered, and the building was looted and partially damaged. In 1979, a group of Jewish women returned to the building with their children. This was the first step in reviving the Jewish community in the center of Hebron. Later, the building was renovated, and today, about 30 Israeli families reside there. Adjacent to Beit Hadassah, you can see Beit Chasson, Beit Shneoson, Beit Hashisha, and more. Some of the buildings were part of the Chesed Abraham medical complex, and some were built by Chabad Hasidim. These buildings were also abandoned after the 1929 Arab uprising. As part of the efforts to rejuvenate the Jewish community of Hebron, they were renovated, expanded, and resettled. They are currently inhabited by Jewish families. To the southwest, you can see Tel Hebron, which is called Tel Rumeida in Arabic, and has been identified as a location of biblical Hebron. the tomb of Ishai, father of King David, and the tomb of Ruth, King David's grandmother, whose story is written in the book of Ruth, are located here. The remnants of a citadel and of ancient towns were found on this hill. This proves that the site was inhabited consecutively from the Canaanite period until today. In 1811, Rabbi Chaim Yeshua Bejayo purchased the land and the 800 dunam surrounding it from the Tamimi Trust. Since then, the Tel has belonged to the Jewish Community of Hebron. It is known as Admot Ishai. Admot Ishai is also the location of the ancient Jewish cemetery, one of the oldest cemeteries in Israel. It is divided into different burial areas. On the eastern side is the plot of the members of the Karaite community that lived in Hebron during the Middle Ages. To its west is the ancient plot of the Sephardic rabbis, the plot where all Torah scrolls are buried, the plot of the martyrs of the Arab uprising of 1929, and the westernmost plot is the later Sephardic rabbis. Some of the famous rabbis buried there include the Reshit Chochmah, the Chesed LaAvraham, the Sdei Chemed, who was active in the Beit Romano area, and more. These are the main sites in Hebron. We invite you to learn more, take a tour of Hebron, spend time and walk in the footsteps of our forefathers. We hope that the rest of your trip.
That was a short viewpoint from Bet Romano, which is a beautiful place. Beside it, you can see the city of Hebron, the Arabic part. Today, it's the city of Hebron is divided into two. 20% of the Kasbah of the old city is part of the Jewish community. The rest is not. For example, those two buildings are belongs to the Palestinian territory. And I don't know if you can see the silver dome that belongs to a shopping mall. And I'm going now to the Hadassah house. Then if you want, you can stay with me. I think it's gonna be nice. Then let me just leave Bet Romano. Well, you can actually see that the Jewish community, which is a small one, is surrounded by the Palestinian community. 20% Jewish, 80% Muslims. I'm sure that there are a few Christians as well, but most of them are Muslims. It's a very rich city, I must say. I'm talking about the Palestinian city. And today this place serves as a yeshiva, which is a biblical religious boys' school. And let me see. You can see a little bit of it. I'm not sure that I can enter with a camera into it. But at least a little glimpse of it. Ooh, let's see what we can see from here. The idea of yeshiva, as I see it, is that you are studying together. And, if you're Christian, you know that Jesus used to debate with the Pharisees, the Tzaddikas, and this is until today. It's happened today because there's no only one way to express everything. There's always few options. And by studying, you are trying to convince the other that your way of thinking is the correct way. I know that I came from here. I lost the group of mine. I'm walking with tour guides because I'm not working now because of the war. It's actually the 7th month that I'm not working at all. All right. I don't know where I am, but let me see. Ooh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I came out of here. There's a beautiful synagogue here, but it blinks. Then I will run away from here. This is the building that I was took the video from. They have a small museum as well if you want to know about the history. Let me see if it can go out. All right, we can. Oops. Be careful. This is the Kasbah, the center of the main street. As you can see, although the houses belongs to the Arabs, no one works here. Everything is closed. There's a huge debate between the Israelis about who's supposed to control Hebron. Is it a Jewish place? Because, you know, the fathers and the mothers are buried here. King David was crowned here. He was the king of Hebron. So many questions. I'm not going into it if it's good or bad, but this is reality now. A lot of Jews were killed by the Palestinians here. This is the reason they closed it to non-Jewish, to the Muslim community. But in the other side, there's not even one Jew at the Palestinian community. There are more soldiers than settlements. And this is Bet Hadassah. If you watched the beginning of the video, you saw a little bit about it. You know more about it, but it's beautiful. I mean, the facade is amazing. And we're supposed to enter there to a museum. And I hope that I will find the group. עוד שנייה, תן לי רק לצלם את זה. אני מתאר לעצמי שאנחנו למטה. במרכז המבקרים.
זה למטה?
אני... Let me see. Yeah, visitors. Yeah, center with the welcome, of course. And it's hot today. היי, עינת, איפה הקבוצה?
אנחנו תיכנסו כבר מעולה כבר מפה, הם התחילו בדיוק את החיזיון.
Okay. Now, thank you very much for being with me. See you. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful it is. See you in my next video.